Good day, our wonderful learners at home. You're welcome to Adewale Kayode online class, and this is a page where you can get 21st century content that can enrich your learning outcome in mathematics. We are still on our series looking into questions from our past Ssce question. Let's see this question on probability. The probability that a candidate M and N will pass an exam is 2 out of 3 and 4 out of 5 respectively. Now the question now says, find the probability that only one candidate pass. 2, the probability that at least one candidate pass. 3, the probability that none of them pass. Now what are we talking about? We are talking about candidates pass or fail. So when we are not talking about at least one of them pass or fail, that means it's either one pass or fail, or one fail or pass. Do you get it now? Or 2 of them what? Pass, or 2 of them what? Fail. That's the end result. But let's look at how to go about this question now, for instance. So the very first thing you need to do is that you must first of all use the information given to you. So that means the first thing is that the probability that M pass. So what is the probability that M pass? It has been given as what? As 2 out of 3. Then the second one is that what is the probability that what? N pass. That is candidate N pass. That one also have been given as what? 4 out of 5. Now once you know the probability that that candidate pass, you must go ahead and look at the probability that if that candidate fails. Since we can see there are some places that we are talking about at least one pass. So let's look at the probability that M fail. Now the probability that M fail now will be what? That means you are taking the probability of that pass away from what? From 1. And don't forget, in one of my 50 mathematics trick, I'm going to make use of that trick here. I'm not going to use normal fraction now. The trick says, once you see taking fraction away from whole number, what you just need to do is that multiply this with that whole number. 1 times 3, that is 3, and come and take that numerator out of it. That's 2 away from this. That will be what? 1 out of what? 3. So that means the probability that what? M fail is what? 1 over 3. Now let's see probability of N fail now. Probability of N fail, and that means you know already the probability of N candidate N pass is what? Is 4 out of what? 5. So for fail now, that means you just take this away from where? You take it away from what? From 1. Use the trick again. 1 times 5, 5. Then take 1 away over what? Over 5. Take 1 away. That's 1 over what? Over 5. So the probability that candidate M fail is what? 1 out of 3. And the probability of candidate N fail is what? 1 out of 5. Now let's go into the question properly now. The question now says, find the probability that at least one candidate pass. That one is very simple. That's question number what? 1. Probability that what? One candidate pass. Probability that one candidate pass. What would that be? Don't forget, we talk about one candidate pass. At least you must see one pass. So it could be pass, fail. Or fail, pass. That's the only thing you can see. It's either you see pass, fail, or what? Fail, pass. When we look at this now, 1 will fail here, and look at it. So it's either pass, fail, or fail, pass. And what is that? In our past video, we have talked about, when we are talking about or in probability, or means what? Great. It means addition. It will change to what? Addition. So probability that what? Pass, fail. So which one is pass, fail here? That is, we are talking about candidate M pass, or candidate what? N fail, or candidate N fail, and candidate what? M pass. That's just it. It's either what? M pass, N fail, or N fail, M what? Pass. So let's bring that out now. So what's the probability that candidate N pass? Don't forget it is what? 2 over what? 3. Multiply by candidate N fail. N fail. That is 1 over what? 5. Plus candidate N fail. n fail. Now, let's see the probability that one candidate pass. Don't forget, one candidate pass. We are talking about candidates M and N. Candidates M and N. So that means at this point, let's look at M and N. That is M pass and N fail. Now, can we now change it now? That will be what? MN now. So here we are talking about that candidate N that what? That fail here will now what? Will now pass here. Then this M will now what? Fail here. There's nothing there. Because we are talking about at what? We are talking about at least one candidate pass. At least one candidate pass. So that means we are talking about candidates, at least one candidate pass. That will be what? M pass or N fail. Or N pass or M what? Fail. And don't forget in probability, when we are talking about or, that means you are going to what? Add the two together. Don't forget that. Always note that. When we talk about or, that means you are going to what? Sum your result. So let's see this now. The probability that at least one candidate pass. At least one candidate pass. So look at it. M pass or N what? Fail. Or N will pass and M will what? Will fail. Very simple thing. So let's bring out the value now. The candidate M pass is what? That's 2 over 3 multiplied by N fail. Great. That is 1 over 5 plus N pass now. That's 4 over what? Over 5 multiplied by N fail. That is what? 1 over 3. There's no confusion there. Very straightforward. And if you want to use this, look at another method. I can see this like this. And what? Can you see that? Okay, let's move on now. So from here, this will be what? 2 over what? 3 multiplied by 5, that is 15. Plus 4 over what? 15. 15 is common to both of them. 15 in this, that is what? 2 plus what? Plus 4. And the final answer there will be what? 6 over what? Over 15. Is there anything common here? Yes. 3 can still go. 3 in 6. That gives us what? 2. 3 in this. That gives us what? 5. So the probability that at least one candidate pass will be what? Let's see the second question. The probability that at least one candidate pass. Probability that, look at it, one candidate pass. When we say one candidate pass, what does that mean? At least one candidate pass. At least one candidate pass. It means it's either what? Both what? Both of them what? Pass. That means because we are looking at least one of them must pass. It's either it is pass or pass fail or fail pass. That's the simple logic. At least pass. One of them pass. It's just like when we say at least one fail. So that means at least one pass must be there. So that will be what? Pass or pass fail or fail pass. In this one, you see that at least one is pass here, at least one is pass here, at least one is pass here. So since we are using or now, that means we are going to add the 3 together. So what's the probability that, and what are we talking about? We are talking about candidate what? MN. What are we talking about? Candidate what? MN or NN. So the candidate, both of them pass now. That is what? That is 2 out of 3 multiplied by 4 over 5. That is what? Pass. Or means addition. Pass fail. Don't forget, pass fail. That is 2 over 3 multiplied by 1 over 5 plus N. That is what? 4 over 5 multiplied by 1 over 3. So let's clear this out. That becomes what? Don't forget, that's 3 times 5, 15. This 8 plus 15 2 times 1, 2, plus 15. 4 times 1, great. That is what? That is 4. So, you are looking for the LCM. That is what? 15. Then 8 plus 2 plus what? Plus 4. 8 plus 2, 10 plus 4. That is what? 14 over what? Over 15. So, the probability that one candidate passed will be what? 14. Last question. The last question, which is question number what? Number 3. The probability that none of them pass. Probability that none of them pass. Probability that none of them pass. When we say probability that none of them pass, it shows of them pass. That is, none of them pass. If none of them pass, what happened to them? That means both candidate M and candidate what? N, both of them what? Fail. If none of them did not pass. And what is that? Fail. What's the probability of candidate M fail? That's what? 1 over what? Over 3. Then probability that what? Candidate N fail. That's what? 1 over what? Over 5. So what will be the final answer? That will be 1 over what? Over 15. So the probability that none of them pass is what? Is 1 over 15.